Hi everyone, my name is Casey from Home Quarters, and at Home Quarters, we specialize in customized marketing strategy to properly expose your unit for sale. And in this episode, we focus on resale application. Right, this is part 3 of a 5-part series on how to purchase a HDB flat in Singapore. If this is your first time here, do check back and highly recommend that you go back to a previous episode where we check out the overview of the entire buying process of a HDB flat in Singapore. If not, let's dive straight in. Your salesperson can actually help you in this current step right now, which is the resale application. If not, you can do it too. Let's walk through then. Resale application is to fill in the flat and OTP details. One thing to note is that the deposit, a lot of times if let's say you are doing it yourself, if this is your first time doing, the deposit portion is actually the option fee plus the option exercise fee. So if let's say you have paid $1,000 for the option and then later on as exercise $4,000, in this field you should fill up $5,000 instead of $4,000, which a lot of people mistakenly fill up. Fill in the seller's detail, which you can find on the first page of the option to purchase. If let's say there are 2 sellers, click on the plus sign, plus add seller sign to add another seller. On the buyer particular, which is your particular, fill out all those that are not being filled out, the mobile number, the email address, your income details, the mailing address. If let's say there are multiple buyers, do add those details in as well. Right, so next up we come to the manner of holding the HDB flat. Right, there are 3 manner of holding: joint tenancy, sole owner, and also tenancy in common. Of course, those people with family, husband and wife is buying it together, then sole owner doesn't make sense. If let's say you're buying it as a couple, you can choose between joint tenancy and tenancy in common. So what is the difference here? Right, joint tenancy, if let's say one of the spouse pass, other spouse will automatically take over and own the flat. It will be a 50-50, will become the owner of the flat, right? 100% owner of the flat. If it is tenancy in common, you can actually choose the percentage of owning. It can be 50-50, 70-30, or whatever that you choose, right, percentage. But this means that if let's say touch wood, right, one of the spouse pass, the other will not automatically take ownership of the flat, but instead they will actually follow the will of the deceased party. So do take note, most of the time it is joint tenancy. Once that is done, fill in the occupier particular. If let's say there is other occupier in this flat that you are buying, you will also need to fill up their monthly income for the grant portion. Next up, declaration. You have to declare, are you applying for an enhanced contra facility? If you don't know what is the enhanced contra facility, do check out our other videos which we have explained in depth. If let's say you do check the enhanced contra facility box, you have to fill in the contra flat address, meaning the flat that you are selling. Question 2, do you, your co-buyer or occupier through a nominee or otherwise own or acquire any interest in a private property in Singapore or overseas? Answer it truthfully if there is or there isn't. If there is, of course, you have to sell it off after completion within 6 months. Okay, follow-up question is, any buyer listed in the application form disposed of a private residential property within the last 13 months? You have to answer truthfully, right? This impact actually the ability to get HDB loan. Okay, question 3, is any other buyer represented by a power of attorney? Power of attorney meaning that they are legally able to act on your behalf. For question 4, is any of the buyer represented by a donee under a lasting power of attorney? Lasting power of attorney usually is for people that are mentally incapacitated, right? Meaning that they are actually either in a coma or they don't have the mental ability to proceed on with the process. Question 5, is any of the buyer represented by a deputy or committee appointed under a court order? These are rarely being used, but if there is, in the case of decease or divorce, then just take it accordingly. These are the buyers intending to engage HDB conveyancing service to act in their flat purchase. Right? So if let's say you are not engaging HDB conveyancing service to act in your flat purchase, they will actually have a follow-up question on which law firm that you are using. So just fill it up accordingly. Okay, for question 7, if let's say you are an undischarged bankrupt, then there will be a follow-up question. Is there a written consent for the official assignee to buy if you're buying a resale flat that is above $500,000? or buying a resale flat bigger than a 5-room or a 3G flat. For question 8, if let's say you have ticked yes, then you have to read and understand the terms and conditions for temporary extension of stay by flat seller after the resale completion, and also agree and comply and to be bound with them. Okay, once that is done, you'll move towards a review everything that you have filled up, all the questions that you have answered, make sure that everything is in order, then press next. Alright, once you click next, you will actually be brought to upload documents. They have a bunch of documents that you have to upload. Right? If let's say it is the 12 months income slip, then you have to upload it one by one. If let's say they ask for CPF contribution, you have to get that for them as well. If you need some time to obtain all these documents, then do press save as draft and come back later on. So you don't need to re-upload it again. But best if you are able to upload everything in one sitting. So once that is done, they will bring you to online payment page, whereby you will need to pay an administrative fee of in total of $80. Once you're done with the resale application, right, within 7 days, seller side will also have to do it. Right, if let's say the seller side already done it, same goes for you. Within 7 days, you have to do the resale application. Right, all these actually stipulated inside the original option to purchase that you have signed on what is the date that they or you have to submit the resale application. So do a bit of coordination with the seller side. So that is done for the submission of the resale application, right, including supporting document that is required for the purchase. So once that is done, HDB will verify the information, takes some time, it takes about 2 weeks, right, and then notify you of the acceptance of the application via SMS. Right, so do check your SMS. Once that is done, do log in to endorse the resale document. Alright, so this is how you do a resale application. Do be patient, another SMS will come in from HDB to remind you to do the endorsement, which we will go into detail on the next part. If you're keen to work together with Home Quarters, do hit us up at www.homequarters.com.sg/contact us. Right, for more content such as this, do click here for more and click here to subscribe. Thank you.